What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here. With the saddened passing of Penny Marshall, besides best known for shows like Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days, Penny Marshall has also directed some pretty decent stuff. So I decided to do a top 5 list of my 5 favorite Penny Marshall directed movies. She hasn't really done like a whole lot. I mean, she hasn't really done like much to really qualify to do a top 10 list. So instead, I'm just gonna make a top 5 here. Hey, with that being said, here's my top 5 list. Coming in at number 5 is this movie she did a few years back called Riding in Cars with Boys. Now, this film here, starred Drew Barrymore. You also had the late great Brittany Murphy was in this. Steve Zahn, James Woods, and in the film, it tells the true story of writer Beverly D'Onofrio, played by Barrymore, who ages from, like in this, Barrymore actually ages from 15 to 35 in the role. It reveals like of a coming of age in the late 1960s and her whole life colored by an event that happened when she was 15. And so like the event spans more than 2 decades as the young heroine experiences often humorous and sometimes irreverent, but she makes it like a unique journey to make something meaningfully in her life. This film is a really nice little indie. I mean, it got released in 2001, and this was actually like the last directed movie that Penny Marshall did. Like since Ryan the Cosmic Boy, she's never really directed anything since this film. Drew Barrymore, I really loved in this. I thought she was really good. It's always nice to see Steve Zahn in anything. I love Steve Zahn. He's awesome. Brittany Murphy was also good. Man, I miss Brittany Murphy. She was taking it from us way too soon. Yeah, this movie was really inspirational. I've it's been a while since I've seen it, to be honest with you, but I remember really enjoying it when I first saw this. It's a really good film. If you guys never seen Ryan the Cars with Boys, it's a real good feel good movie worth checking out. Coming in at number 4 is the film Jumpin Jackfish. Now, this movie got released in 1984 and starred Whoopi Goldberg. You even had Jonathan Pierce, Stephen Collins, way before he turned out to be a pedo. You had Carol Kane in this. And in the film, Whoopi Goldberg plays a character named Terry Doolittle who works with computers in the bank office. Yes, there was computers in the 80s, by the way. Anyway, she ends up talking with others via on her computer, not on Facebook or anything, because this was the 80s, so Facebook was not around in the 80s. But then one day she connects with a mysterious user by the name of Jumpin Jackfish, played by the great Jonathan Pierce. And it takes her a while to decode his message, but he figures out that Jack is a British Secret Service agent trapped behind enemy lines, and I guess you could say it's like a spy film. I should say it's not a great film or anything like that, but it's actually a guilty pleasure. It's Whoopi Goldberg was pretty good in this. I actually talked about this film when I was doing my top 10 Whoopi Goldberg movies, and Jumpin' Jackfish was on that list. This is a really good film worth checking out. Whoopi Goldberg was pretty funny. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Jumpin' Jackfish, give it a go. It's another Penny Marshall movie worth checking out. Coming in at number 3 is Awakenings. Now, this film here starred the late, great Robin Williams, who Penny Marshall sort of worked with before on Happy Days, and I believe she appeared on Mork and Mindy, if I'm not mistaken. And this Robert Williams actually stars with the great Robert De Niro. I miss Robert Williams, by the way. You know, like Penny Marsha and Brittany Murphy, man, Robert Williams was taken from us way too soon. This is a really interesting film. It tells the story of a doctor's extraordinary work in the '60s with a group of catatotic patients as he finds languishing in a Bronx hospital, and speculating that their regularly may be akin to extreme form of Parkinsonism. And so he seeks permission from a skeptical superiors to treat them with levodopa, which is a drug that was used to treat Parkinson's disease at the times. This movie will actually make you pretty tear up a little, because sadly Robert Williams sadly killed himself because he was developing Parkinson's, and that I guess he didn't want to live with that, and that's one reason why this movie will really make you tear up. And it shows how much how serious Parkinson's disease is. I mean, sadly Michael J. Fox has that disease, and it's definitely not a good disease. And I mean, anyway, in Awakenings, Robert Williams I thought was really good here. Yeah, again, he's Robert Williams. He's always great. Robert De Niro was good. I mean, it was pretty cool seeing Robert De Niro and Robert Williams on screen together. It's always a joy to see them in anything. Now, I've also haven't seen Awakenings for a long time. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen this film, but I remember really enjoying it. When I first saw it, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out, because it's another interesting Penny Marsha film. But you might want to grab tissues, because you will actually cry when you watch this. All right, coming in at number 1, there's no crying in baseball. Coming in at not number 1, number 2, my bad. Coming in at number 2 is A League of Their Own. A League of Their Own is a classic. This movie got released in 1992. It was a really good baseball film. It also starred the likes of Tom Hanks, Rosie O'Donnell, Lori Petty. You had Madonna in this. A League of Their Own is fantastic. It, of course, has that classic line, "There's no crying in baseball." That line is pretty much used in lots of pop culture stuff. This is also probably one of my favorite baseball movies. It's really inspirational. Good performances by Hanks and by the other cast in this. For every reason, if you've never seen A League of Their Own by now, check it out. It's really good. And coming in at number 1 is another Tom Hanks movie, and that will be the classic Big. Big is a classic. I mean, this movie got released in 1988, and it's a film that still holds up. It has lots of classic scenes like that piano scene. That scene's iconic and Big. I mean, in the film, Tom Hanks is like a kid, pretty much, wishes he, was big, and so he makes a wish in a wishing, forgot that thing's name, but he pretty much wishes to be big, and so he ends up being, Tom Hanks. And I mean, it's really good. I mean, that new movie Shazam actually looks like Big. I mean, it has a big feel to it, Shazam. So that's. And Penny Marsha, I mean, she worked well with Tom Hanks. Of course, they worked together on both this and A League of Their Own. This movie was also really heartfelt. It was funny. It was really inspirational as well. You even had Elizabeth Perkins. John Lovitz was in this. The late, great John Hurd. Such a good film. It's a classic. If you guys never seen it, check out Big. It's well worth a watch. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my top 5 Penny Marshall movies. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 5, Riding in Cars with Boys. 4, Jumpin Jackfish. 3, Awakenings. 2, A League of Their Own. 1, Big. Now, there's a few other, there's a couple of other ones I could have probably added. She's done other stuff. She's done more than 5. She did The Preacher's Wife with Denzel. She did Renaissance Men, which had Danny DeVito in it. She also appeared in a few films too, like Mother's Day, New Year's Eve. She appeared in, but I'm only counting her directing credits. Let me leave it to you guys. What are your favorite Penny Marshall directed films? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing off, and RIP Penny Marshall.